Hey, what's going on, everyone? Your boy Ziploc Gory back here again, and I'm going to be reviewing season 4 of Game of Thrones as a whole. There will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen this season, if you haven't seen the show, turn the video off. Otherwise, if you don't mind spoilers, continue to listen, and I'm going to get right into this review because it's going to be pretty long. I have a lot to talk about, a lot of exciting stuff to get into, so let's start. I'm going to start by talking about the season finale. And then I'm going to start talking about the characters and what I like, what they did with the characters and stuff like that, and what I didn't like and whatnot. So, I'll start off with talking about the Lannisters and particularly Tyrion and what he did. I love the season finale. I thought it was really unpredictable. As usual, the episode 10 is usually that episode where things really, the season finales are always just like, oh my god, what's going on? And it does happen here too. I love what Tyrion did. I was like, yes, that's awesome. And the thing about this show is that it's not good versus evil. It's people versus people. Some people who do good things and they're rewarded for them, and some people do bad things and they're rewarded for them. It's just a bunch of it's people. It's humans versus humans. There are some supernatural stuff, but it's about the humanity of these characters, and that's what this show and this series is about. It's not a stereotypical medieval fantasy. So everybody is always like, "Oh man, the Lannisters always win." Nope. Joffrey was killed, which was awesome. That was like, finally, that cunt is dead. That annoying bully of a character is finally dead, and it was fantastic, beautiful when he died. I was like, what a sigh of, I was jumping up and down when he was killed. I was so happy to see that motherfucker go. I was like, yes, finally. The Lannisters are starting to fall. And then we get to the season finale, and another major Lannister is killed. Tywin, the head lion. And what a twist. This dude is always talking about, family is important, and we must always sort of be regal, and we got to show the best of ourselves to the people. And behind closed doors, he's no better than his children. He's a hypocrite. And I love the way they showed him on the stall, or whatever you want to call it. Just there, and you see him for what he truly is. A lying hypocrite. I mean, this guy is always talking about, he told Tyrion, don't bring this whore back here, and he turned, him and Cersei sort of turned Shae. Well, Shae did it on her own, but essentially they used Shae against Tyrion, to kill Tyrion. And it was that whole tactic was sort of reversed on him. Because when Tyrion is about to escape, Jaime comes to help him. And then Tyrion is about to escape with Varys. He stops and he goes back. And I don't think he intended to kill anybody. I think he wanted to just sort of say his last words to Cersei. Because I thought he was going to see Cersei and get revenge on Cersei, and he was maybe going to do something to her. I don't know what. But I thought he was going after Cersei. But he went into Tywin's room, and there Shae is. And Shae's like, ooh, my lion Tywin. And then when Tyrion sees this, of course, he just goes crazy. And Shae picks up a knife. And she, I think, not I think, but she was basically going to kill him. And Tyrion's like, no, I'm not having that. And he just killed her, choked her out. And just beautifully executed by Peter Dinklage. Did a fantastic job, with him killing off that character of Shae. So I was happy to see Shae killed. But then after that, he goes to find Tywin. And, that talk, that final talk was great. Just Tyrion putting Tywin in his place and giving him a piece of his mind for the last time and putting them arrows in him. Was like, yes, Tywin's dead. So 2 major Lannisters are gone. So like again, the Lannisters don't always win. They don't always win. Of course, Jaime lost his arm. He's pretty much useless in battle now. But the Lannisters don't always win, and they're starting to pay. Their downfall is starting to happen now. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where that goes. And you can also see a sort of rift between, let's get on with Jaime and Cersei. You can also see them starting to fall apart, so to speak. Especially when he came back in that scene where Jaime was trying to essentially get Cersei to make love to him and whatnot. And then that scene where they're over Joffrey's body, which is so fucking sick. I mean, I heard that happened in the books too, but it didn't happen that way because a lot of people chopped that up to being a rape scene. And you know what? Looking at it, it is sort of a rape scene. Well, I can't say it's sort of. It is a rape scene because she is saying no and no, Jaime, and all of that. And here's the thing about this with me as far as Jaime as a character. A lot of people in season 3 were starting to sympathize with Jaime, you know, because of the stuff and how he was treating Brienne better and how he treats Tyrion and stuff like that. Me personally, I just couldn't sympathize with Jaime. I still despise his character to death. Essentially, everything is his fault. First of all, he pushed the kid out of a window because he got caught, you know, committing a sin, having sex with the king's wife, and then, you know, committing incest. And that whole thing with Bran, when he knocked him out the window, just spiraled out of control. And then he started that fight with Ned Stark in his city, and of course his son, his biological son, Joffrey, killed Ned, and essentially it is Jaime's fault that all this stuff is happening. It's the Lannisters' fault that this whole events, the War of the Five Kings, all the stuff that's going on that spiraled out of control is their fault. So, me personally, I still despise Jaime as a character. I respect the actor, what he's done with the character. I can understand why some people would sympathize with Jaime, but for me, I couldn't do it. He's still a character I hate, and I just want to see him downfall as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with Cersei and his character. But yeah, it was a rape scene. It didn't happen because I did read the paragraph and whatnot in the books when this whole scene came out, because a lot of fans are flipping out when it happened. They're like, how dare they turn Jaime into a rapist? He wasn't like that in the books. And yada yada yada. But yeah, he may not be a rapist, but he's everything else. He's a killer. And that squire he killed when he escaped, when he tried to escape the Starks, you know, I think that was season 2 or season 3 that happened. You know, he's just a person that's really pompous and just a character I just despise. So yeah, but I am interested to see where they go with his story. Is he gonna be killed off? I'm hoping he dies, and Cersei as well. I hope they have a fucked up ending for those two characters because I can't stand either of them. And it was good to see Joffrey again killed, and seeing that look on Cersei's face was just fantastic. I can't wait to see the look on her face when she sees Tywin killed. That's going to be wonderful because she's going to see her family is falling apart. So there's that. Now I'm going to talk about the story with Daenerys. Daenerys' story is becoming really interesting. She's also starting to fall apart. She's losing control of her dragons, especially the big main like boss dragon, if you will. I think his name is Drogon. I think the dragon's name is. Yeah, that one in particular was like attacked her almost. You know, when they were flying around, when they were eating the sheep, and then when they were eating by Daenerys, Drogon comes up to her and he almost bites her head off. It's like, oh shit, and she's like, oh fuck, I'm starting to lose control of the dragon. So that's interesting. That's sort of metaphorically talking about her, symbolically talking about her losing control of what she's trying to do, as they were talking about in the interviews and whatnot. So that's interesting. I really hope she doesn't have a bad ending, but the way things are going, I can see that happening. Now we have Jorah, who eventually is found out, what he originally planned to do. He originally planned to kill Daenerys for the kingdoms and whatnot. And Daenerys just basically disowns him and kicks him out. That scene was really well done, particularly the actor who played Jorah. Just really well done, and I don't know where they're gonna go. Is Jorah gonna be seen again? I hope so. I hope he finds some other way to live. I hope he finds another purpose, because essentially we all know that he confessed his love for Daenerys. He loved her in a romantic way, but she just didn't feel that way about him. So I'm guessing now. And then she also apparently, what's that character's name? Darion Anahoris, I think that's how you pronounce it. She had sex with him, so I don't know where they're going with that. It was sort of a love triangle-ish type thing, so that was sort of interesting, but I don't know where they're trying to go with his character. But I think Sir Barristan and him are gonna have to make up for Jorah, and we're gonna see where that goes. But I'm really worried for Dany. I hope her character survives, but this is Game of Thrones, so there is no such thing as plot armor for characters. So if she dies, it's going to be sad, but I can see the downfall starting to happen without Jorah, because Jorah was the main sort of information. She was, he was her right-hand man, and now with him gone, I don't see where she's going to go. And then she has to worry about the people. She's trying to feed, she's trying to rehabilitate sort of the slaves and whatnot, so it's going to be hard for her, and things are not looking good. And now her own dragons, she has to sort of enslave, keep them chained up. How ironic, she is freeing slaves and whatnot, but she has to keep the most dangerous animals, her babies, her children, in chains. So that's pretty, well done. Just really good character stuff right there. So looking forward, of course, to seeing where she goes and what they're going to do with her character. Now, the stuff on the wall was really interesting with Jon Snow. Essentially, now the wall is what I'm really interested in. I'm really interested in the supernatural aspect of the show. It's subtle. The supernatural stuff in here is subtle, but I'm really fascinated by it because I really want to know what exactly are the White Walkers, because they did refer to them as one of the characters said the gods, the White Walkers. So the White Walkers might be the one true gods or whatever, but they're definitely mystical beings. And I'm really looking forward to that. I love that scene where that baby got turned into a White Walker, and I'm guessing that's like the main boss White Walker who touched its face. And I'm like, what is their purpose? What are they trying to do? So I'm looking forward to that as far as like the wall. And then of course with Jon, he went through a lot of stuff. And then the war I thought was cool with him and the Wildlings, the Night's Watch versus the Wildlings, and those other I forgot what those characters were. They eat people. They're cannibals. Oof. What a bunch of fucked up people. But that episode I loved a lot. That war, the battle scenes was just fantastic. It was awesome. Jon is one of my favorite characters. His story is another one that's hard to predict, but I'm really worried as to where they're going to go with him now. Due to Stannis being there, is he going to serve as Stannis' side? Excuse me. Is there even going to be a Night's Watch anymore? Are they going to change the rules? Is Stannis going to be like, there's no such thing as a Night's Watch anymore? From now on, this is my kingdom. The North, the entire North, is mine. Is that what he's trying to achieve, or what have you? So I'm looking forward to that story and seeing where they go with that. But I did really like what they did with Jon in here, and let's see where they go. And speaking of the North, I want to talk about Bran Stark. I love that scene where he gets to his destination to find the three-eyed raven, or I believe that guy was a three-eyed crow or something like that. That scene was creepy, awesome, and just fantastic all in one. I love that scene. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with Brandon Stark. Is he going to become some type of, I don't know, is he going to be the catalyst to stop the White Walkers? Because he's definitely going to become some sort of supernatural type of being, or some type of wizard or something. Something's going to happen to him, because the guy says, Brandon thought he was going to walk again. He's like, no, you'll never walk again, but you will fly. So does that mean, in the three-eyed raven or the three-eyed crow says he has eyes all over the place. He's seeing things. He's been watching them with all sorts of eyes. So I'm guessing he has connections with these crows, and he can tap into them. I forgot what they call the people that can do that. The people who can tap into animals and stuff like that. I forgot what they call them, but some type of telepathy they have, some type of mental control they have over animals, and they can go in other people's minds and stuff like that. That's cool. So I'm really fascinated by that aspect of the show. So Brandon's character development is really going to be interesting next season. Really looking forward to that. Okay, let's get on with Arya. I don't know. Arya's story was really good this season, but I am happy that she is leaving the Hound, because I mean, as much as I like the dynamic between the two, I do want to see Arya eventually. I did want to see Arya eventually kill the Hound, because the Hound was just using Arya as a means to an end, and when they met up with Brienne, I was like, okay, this is gonna be different. Things are about to change. Somebody's gonna die. I expected it actually to be Brienne. I thought the Hound was gonna kill Brienne, but it was the other way around. So that's crazy. And I also like how Arya didn't kill the Hound. She just let him bleed out, and she walked away from him. And the Hound was like, "Just kill me, just finish me off." And she just walked away. I thought that was really cool. I don't know what they're gonna do with her character, but she did give that coin that Jaqen had to the captain of the ship. I'm wondering if that dude is connected with Jaqen in some type of clan or something that he knows of Jaqen. That's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. And if Arya is going to somehow be what Jaqen was. Some type of, I believe, like he can change his face or something. So I'm wondering if she's going to somehow find some type of mystical being or something too. That's going to be interesting. If the Stark children would eventually be the strongest characters in the show, essentially, that would be kind of cool. But this is Game of Thrones, so it's so unpredictable. For all we know, they could be setting Arya up to be killed next season. Who knows? But I'm definitely here, fascinated and looking forward to seeing where she goes. My least favorite Stark, her story with Littlefinger. I don't know what they're gonna do with her. Apparently, she's trying to trick Littlefinger. She's trying to use his own tricks against him. But she puts on that dark dress, which she does look like a Sith Lord, which everybody made fun of. But Sansa, yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see where they go with her and Littlefinger. But obviously, she wants to play Littlefinger. She wants to use him like he's been using her. And, is using her beauty, because Littlefinger is obviously, when he kissed her, he's attracted to her. He sees Catelyn Stark in her, and he's starting to fall for her the same way he fell for Catelyn. So that's going to be crazy. And how fucked up that her auntie was. What a weird chick. What a weird woman. But that scene when he pushed her out of the well and whatnot, that was funny. I was like, bye-bye. Bye, bitch. You are gone. That was just hilarious to me. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she's the one who kills Littlefinger. I'll say that. But who knows? It's Game of Thrones again, so for all we know, Littlefinger could kill Sansa. So who knows? But yeah, overall, this season was fantastic. I love what they did with the characters. I love where the story's going, even though nobody really exactly knows where it's going. It's one of those series that I'm grateful for, because with so many other fantasy series out there, they're so predictable. It's just good versus evil. It's high fantasy, but with this, it's so different, and it's a joy to watch. The acting is good, the music is great, the plot twist, the character development, it's all just tip top, top notch stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to end this review, and I will check you guys on the flip side. I am out. Peace.